Big Daddy here with another video in the series of customizing KDE Plasma 5. So we're going to dive into the system settings here and check it out. Now for video purposes we're going to just work on appearance today because otherwise the video might be a couple days long. So we're going to jump right in and get into it so we don't have to waste too much time. So workspace appearance, look and feel. So the look and feels, they change everything that you see on the appearance, from the panel to the widgets to the menus, colors, icons, cursors. Pretty much everything that you see changes when you change the look and feel, with the exception of the GTK themes, which you have to go into application style and genomic application styles to actually still change that. And that's the difference between Qt and GTK. So let's do it. Breeze Dark. Been wanting to switch to Breeze Dark for a while. So that, as you can see, changed the panel, colors, everything. Including, now the icon set stays the same because, you know, it uses the same icon set with the exception of a few dark icons. So, and you can get new looks. So although there isn't many in here, I did install this one, but you got to be careful because it does put a disclaimer here. Please remember that this theme will reset your desktop layout, so be careful. And the reason that is because it's a look and feel, it's a full theme, it actually adds a second panel here, or it adds a panel to the side, and I don't know if it'll remove, and I'm not going to try it because I don't want to try it right at the moment, but it does change things around, so just be careful. Now, if you install different themes, like I know the Papyrus theme set comes with a look and feel. I know that Maui had some Netrunner look and feels installed that I had copied over that I don't have right at the moment. So you can get more for these, and if you manually want to install a look and feel, if you have some files you want to put in, you have to go to the hidden file, show your hidden files in the home folder, and go to .local, share, plasma, and look and feel, and you put it in this folder. Now, starting out, especially on Neon, I don't know on other distros, but on Neon, the plasma folder is empty. So until you install one, you won't have these look and feel and desktop theme folders here. So you have to either manually create them, create a new folder with this exact text so that it'll show up in the system set, so the system settings will pick it up, or just come in here, install one, and it'll create the folder for you. That way you can just add more to it. So this is where you put the look and feels that you have. This is where you would add just a single desktop theme, which I added these. But the icons are different. The icons for the manual install are .local, share, and just an icons folder. So I'm not sure why they wouldn't be put into the Plasma folder, but that's the way Plasma is right now. So this is the folder location if you want to add any mouse cursors or if you want to add any icons. So in the regular GTK distros, it's usually the home folder and a hidden .icons folder, but not the case in Plasma. Okay, so that's pretty much all for the look and feel. I know that there is a rumor out there. I don't know. I mean, I seen something, and I don't know if I want to believe it or not, because they were joking around about it. But they're talking about maybe adding a where you can create your own look and feel, change it the way you want, and then save it as a layout. So we'll see if that actually materializes, or if it's just a concept or a joke. So we'll see. So the desktop theme is, well, let me go back here and change back to Breeze so that it's default, and go into the desktop themes. So you only have a couple by default. I added these, but you can either install them manually to the folder I said, or you can do the get new themes, and they have a ton of different desktop themes in here, unlike the look and feels. So you can search for anything you want. You can search for colors, it'll when it searches the name, but it also searches this description. So if it's in there, it'll find it. And you just pick one and hit install. Close it out, and sometimes it appears in here and sometimes it doesn't, because it doesn't always want to find everything you put in there. But anyway, once they are in here, you can just click it and hit apply, and there you go. Now let me talk about transparency for a second here. First of all, this transparency, as you see, this line here will go away once you restart Plasma. So let me go to my handy restart Plasma script that I also made a video on. I didn't add it to Plank yet, but click that and it restarts Plasma without logging out. And as you can see, the line is gone because this is a truly transparent theme. Now, one of the reasons why I like this K Elementary is because it has a transparent panel, but the items are not transparent. They are dark, and that is a good thing, because transparency can be done wrong or made to look bad, in my opinion. So for example, this Windows 7 here, when you switch to this, you see that the items are transparent as well. But to me, it is too much transparency. So when you have a clean desktop and you have a decent background on it, it doesn't look bad. It actually looks pretty good. But the problem with it is, for anybody that switches their wallpaper a lot, or for anybody, for the general population of 90% of us out here who actually have Windows open when we do stuff like this, then it makes it really terrible and hard to see. So if you look at the Breeze Dark, you'll see that it has some transparency to it, but they do it right because it has some transparency there, as you can see through it a little bit, but it's dark enough, or the transparency is only a little bit so that you can actually read the text, no matter what window is open. And that is part of the reason why I like the K Elementary, because you can actually have the transparency of the panel, but what you see is going to be dark, and that's something that I enjoy. So that's all for the desktop themes. Let's move on to the cursors. Cursors are the same situation, where you get new themes, search for the ones you want, hit install, and apply the ones you want. Now, the only difference with the cursors is you also have to change the GTK cursor settings. So you're changing the cursor theme for any Qt app, basically, or the desktop in here, in KDE, in Plasma. But to change it to the GTK apps, you have to go out into the application style and come over here and change it from here. Otherwise, when you pull up a GTK app, you'll see that the cursor actually changes to a different one than what it is. So that's why you want to make a match if you can. If hopefully the cursor set that you pick has a theme for the Qt and the GTK. So, but otherwise, it's pretty much self-explanatory. You can click on it and see what it's actually going to look like up here. So that may help you decide what you want it to do. So for the moment, we're going to go with the Breeze Snow. So the splash screen, there are certain themes and certain distros that add more splash screens, but you can't get it doesn't have the option to get new splash screens like in most other things. But they can be installed, and they can be installed manually too as well. So moving on, the color. This is where you pick what everything looks like out here. So it's going to change all of this area and even work with the window bar. So if we change to Breeze Dark, it's going to change all the colors and what they look like. And when I restart Dolphin, it'll be dark inside as well. So the only thing you got to do is, just like with anything else, you got to match up what you're looking at with the icons. So you don't want to pick Breeze Dark colors and then pick just regular Breeze icons, because some of them will not show up where they need to be. It needs to match, basically. If you got a dark theme, you need the dark theme icons. You can get new schemes. You can search by color, which is the easiest way for me, depending on what color you're looking for. But the other thing I want to say is the window borders go along with the secondary color of the set. So if you see this third box over here, that's basically the secondary color. So the window border, and I will say it's only on certain window borders. Like, well, let me show you here. As you see, I picked Mint X Blue, and with the Breeze theme will pick up those colors. So it'll pick up that secondary color. That is not the case in all, like for example, if you pick this one here, it's set to use that color, and that's the way it's going to be, and no matter what colors you pick, it's going to pick this window border. But the Breeze, and I think the Oxygen was the same way, where it basically flows with whatever colors you have. So that's something to look out for when you're actually picking colors as well, which window border you're going to go with. So we're going to stick with, I guess, the Breeze Dark, just for the video purposes. And yeah, moving on, fonts. So you can change these individually. You can hit choose and change whatever size you want. What I usually do is I take the system fonts and I usually up them one size. So this started out as 10, this started out as 9, 8, and I just up them one because, you know, sometimes I need a bigger font. I'm just saying. Now you can adjust all fonts with this button, and you can adjust them individually, as far as you can adjust just all of the actual fonts, because some of these use different ones to a certain font. If you have a certain font you like, and hit OK, and it'll adjust just the font itself. Or you can adjust just the size, keep the separate fonts and adjust all the sizes all at one time. But I usually stick with whatever they have. I just up in one. And I don't know, I don't remember if this was enabled or not, but I usually use the anti-aliasing, and I configure it to RGB and Slate. That's usually what works for me. So I don't know what will work for you, but that's usually what works for me. Now, the font management is here, and it's okay to be here, but you can install fonts manually. So let's go look at one. Hidden files, and I have a .fonts folder that I keep in my home folder, and if you just pick one, you can click on it and install it from here as well. So it's not going to show the install button if it's not installed. Some of these I don't have installed system wide, but most of them are. So you just click this, it'll ask you if you want to install it system wide or for the local user, and the only difference is that it'll be it's self-explanatory. It'll only be available to you as a user, and if you have other users on, it won't be available to them. System wide is for everybody. So let's move on so we can get through this here. Icons. So there are some awesome icons out there, awesome icon sets. But if you don't have any, you can hit get new theme and search for whatever you're looking for. Now, like I said, there are times where some of these do not show up, and I'm not sure why. You know, if anybody has any idea why they don't show up, you know, I'd be glad to know. But like this Numix White, I actually wanted to try, and it may be in the details here of why, but no, it's not. But long story short, you click install and it's not here. So not sure exactly why that is, but once you get, most of them work to where you hit the install and it comes in here. So let's pick one here. I really am fond of the Evolver from Mate Blue. Mate, you know. That icon set I really do love. So now, I think with the size I had, it's a little big for that, but I really do like that icon set. So your mileage will vary with that, but you pick one you want, and like I said, just make sure you see you have difference here. The XFCE darker, and the regular. You just want to pick one that matches whatever color you have your panel and your colors, so that the icons will show up the best. Now you can change the icons sizes specifically in here. So for the desktop icons, you can change the size of it. Now this is also depending on which icon theme you pick. So if you pick the Breeze, you're pretty much going to be able to change all of these. Certain icon sets that you install and apply will not allow you, when you come in here, this will be grayed out. So I'm not sure exactly, maybe it's hard-coded into the icons or the set or what, but either way, you can't always change it. So the desktop is the desktop icons. The toolbar is, not exactly sure if that's these icons or what, but the main toolbar is the main toolbar, this one up here. So it changes these icons, and then you have the small icons for small items. You have the panel, you can change the icon set to that, but that's also dependent on the theme and how big you have the size of the panel itself. So, and the dialog boxes. So there you go. That's what you can set in the icons. Now these I don't ever change. I'm sure some people will, but I don't ever do anything with those. The application style, the widget style. Now this is what the boxes will look like. What the like for example, if you open up Dolphin, this is what these items will change them. Okay, so you have a couple to choose from. Now I haven't tried to install. I know I used to be able to install different ones, but I haven't tried to install new ones now. You can't. It's not simple to like get new ones, but they can be installed. But the differences that they have for Neon is Fusion, which changes the boxes from this circle type box to a more thin. It changes the scroll bars, the buttons, the check boxes. So that's what it looks like on the Fusion. And then you have Microsoft Windows. I don't know why you'd want to go back to this, but okay, if that's your thing, go right ahead. You have fine tuning where you can show the icons on the buttons, show icons in menus, which usually is checked anyway. But the main toolbar, this is not the way it was by default. I changed it to this and this is where you change it. So text beside icons, and it puts it back. This is actually default, what it's supposed to look like. Although I don't know about that icon set. I mean, I like the Evolver, but I don't know if it works with that on it. So maybe I'll have to look at changing that. So you can do the text beside or the text below, which actually raises the icon, raises the button size. All right, so off to window decorations. Well, wait, let's go back to the Breeze because I'm not digging this. Okay, so window decorations. Now, there are many to choose from. All you gotta do is hit Get New Decorations. But like I said, some are hard-coded into where, some are even hard-coded to the point where you can't, like I have my X over here and my minimize over here, my close and minimize, but some of them are hard-coded to the point where it has them over here anyway, just because that's the way the theme was made. But any of the newer type window borders will honor where you choose to put them and how big the buttons are. So pick which ones you want, search for the ones you want, and install them. And you click on them and hit apply. And this is one that doesn't honor the colors, but it does honor the placement of the buttons. So, but the cool thing about this is this little button here gives you the settings for this window border. So now, yeah, okay. Now the Breeze system setting window borders has little details that you can change, and if you're fond of putting the title in the over to the left, you can do that by just clicking left. You can change the animations on it. Stand by while I silence my phone so that it doesn't bother me while I'm doing this. Okay, so you can hit the shadows. You can change the shadows. I don't change anything in there. Okay, the only thing that I change is the button size. I change it from normal to large or whatever, depending on which window border I choose. All right, so also this is where it gets pretty awesome. Okay, and this is where you can change and move your buttons around. So if you're a Mac user coming from Mac, you can just grab the buttons and move them to either side to place them where you want them. And say you're, like I said, you're a Mac user and you want your buttons over to all to the left, that's fine. So you have your 3: minimize, maximize, and close. But I'm not coming from Mac, so I take off the maximize because I maximize by double clicking, or I have KDE to scroll and it will maximize the window. So I don't need the maximize button. And you know, I like to have my minimize here and my close over here. Just, I don't know, it's just I got used to doing it that way, and that's the way I like doing it. And that's the great thing about it. You can choose. So there usually is the menu button up here. Okay, but I take that off as well because you have the same menu by right clicking on the title bar. So it's kind of like a mute point. You don't have to have that button there. All right, so there is the customization on the window border, and I think it's an awesome feature. The Cinnamon is one that has it in the settings as well, where you can change this and move them around. Now, when you go to like Ubuntu, regular Ubuntu, or GNOME, you can do it in the dconf editor, but it's, you know, you got to find out exactly where they are. It's a little bit more technical to do. So off to the GNOME applications. So this is where you change your theme for, say, Firefox, Thunderbird, anything like that, any GTK app. So we're going to change it to, well, right now, you see it's a white theme, basically. We're going to change that to Breeze Dark. And you can choose the font size as well, or the different fonts. And if you hit apply, you need to restart whatever application it is, and it'll come up, and as you see, it is changed to dark. So why do I want to see that? There. Okay. And yeah, so that's the GTK themes. The behavior, you can do the icons only. Like here, you can do the icons only. I'm sorry, on the toolbars. You can do text under the icons, and we'll see what that does. We'll see if that makes any difference. My Firefox is so slow. So I think that this actually was like this is before anyway. So I guess that's if you're using this type of menu. I don't know. Okay, well, moving on. The icon themes, I don't know everything. Excuse me. The icon themes, like I said, the cursor theme, you want to pick one that matches the one that you picked in the Qt part of it. And this icon theme as well, you want to pick one that matches, so that it's system-wide. Now, hopefully you have one that matches, and then when they change, so like I said, that if this theme is okay on certain. This theme is I really like, okay, but on certain situations and certain scenarios, it doesn't work. So it may not work well with Firefox. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But the fallback theme, you can choose that as well. You can hit Get New GTK Themes, GTK3 themes, or you can install a local theme. So KDE has a ton of settings, but these are just some of them, and these are just some of the appearance settings. So we'll get into the next ones in the next video. Hopefully I didn't go too long, but there you have it. Until next time, Big Daddy out.